Micron just released their latest quarterly figures, and guess what? An excellent quarter by the company. Good quarter, good guidance as well. So all the noise that we've been hearing from some analysts, from some articles with regards to supply issues, well, currently no signs of that. Stock is now up over 13% after hours. I actually talked about Micron 2 days ago, talked about Micron and Nvidia as stocks to buy when we see some weakness, because we have seen some weakness with Micron in the last 3 months or so. Actually, in the last 3 months before they reported earnings, the stock was down 30%. Even Nvidia in the last couple of months has been quite weak. It's been down, 8% or so? So yeah, when the overall market is up and suddenly nobody really talks about these types of companies, these types of stocks, there might be an opportunity there. Now, again, like I said in the previous video, could have gone the other way around, right? They could have had maybe a slight miss and the stock would be down 5-10% or so because of the negative momentum, because of the negative sentiment. But no, this time, good quarter, good guidance, we got some good information as well. So the stock is up. Again, it was an excellent company. It still is an excellent company. And like I said, this is a company that is dealing with cycles, up and down cycles. As you can clearly see here on the screen, up cycle, down cycle, up cycle, down cycle. And like I said in the previous videos about Micron, it's much better to try and get in near the bottom. You cannot time it. You cannot time it. So even if you bought here, or maybe if you're lucky and you really bought the bottom of the, let's say, business, not the bottom of the stock, because that's something else, but bottom of the business from a profitability profile, revenue, sales, all of that. The memory market is a highly cyclical business. So if you try and get near the bottom, I think that's much better than when you're near the top and everybody's talking about, oh, memory this, memory that, it's up huge, etc., etc. No, I think now and in the last couple of months, it has been quite a good move to go into Micron. So enough of me babbling around, repeating what I said in the last video. Let's go over the earnings report. If you enjoy this type of videos, hit all the buttons, like, subscribe, do all of that. Would really appreciate it. And just a full disclaimer, if you're seeing a comment, if you're early and you're watching this video, if you see a comment and it has already 20 sub-comments, it's probably a bot and a scam. So please report it, because YouTube doesn't do much to help creators manage the comment section. So if you see those things, report it. That will help me out greatly. What will also help me out is if you check out all the links down in the description and in the pinned comment, or just go to fool.com/couchinvestor to go to the top 10 best stocks to buy now. Would really appreciate that as well. So Consensus Gurus here already with the full recap. Of course, we're going to go a little bit deeper, but overall, this is the picture. A beat across the board for the quarter and for guidance as well. So revenue beat by 1.3%. Gross profit by 6.6%, gross margin by 182 basis points, operating margin beat by 193 basis points, EPS by 5.4%, and free cash flow by 17.5%. That's a pretty big difference here. Now, if we look at next quarter, by the way, their fiscal 24 is now over. They're now moving to the first quarter fiscal year 2025. Revenue beat by 4.5%, which means it will increase by 84.1% year over year. Gross profit beat the consensus numbers by 9.3%, and this also means that gross profit would grow 9,000% year over year. Yeah, pretty crazy. I mean, not pretty crazy, because if you've been following Micron around, you know that previously, well, again, it's all about the cycles. The down cycles, the profitability side of the business is thrown out of the window. Plus, right now, they're also investing quite a lot in the upcycle to be ready for that. Anyways, continuing here, operating profit beat by 15.8%, operating margin for next quarter beat by 264 basis points, and EPS is expected to be $1.74. That beats the consensus numbers by 13.7%. So yeah, pretty good. Anyways, revenue for the quarter, $7.8 billion. That's up 14% quarter over quarter and 93% year over year. For the fiscal year 2024 revenue, that came in at $25.1 billion. Revenue is up 62% year over year. As for the other metrics, as we've seen, gross margin 36.5%, operating income $1.7 billion, net income of $1.34 billion, and diluted earnings per share of $1.18. Cash flow from operation for the quarter was 44% of revenue, coming in at $3.4 billion. Net capex for the quarter $3.1 billion, and for the fiscal year 2024, that was $8.1 billion. Remember that number. Adjusted free cash flow of $323 million, and so they bought back $300 million worth of shares. Previously, the buyback program was basically scrapped, I think, since 2021 or so. Dividends of 11 cents per share will be paid on October 23rd. So, yeah, you're getting dividends, buybacks, and growth with Micron. Now, they did comment a little bit on PCs and data center. So their mix of data center revenue reached a record level in fiscal 2024, and they expect it will grow significantly from here in fiscal 2025. Micron is well positioned in the data center with their portfolio of high bandwidth memory, or HBM, high capacity D5 and LP5 solutions, and data center SSD products. We expect each of these three product categories to deliver multiple billions of dollars in revenue in fiscal 2025. As they've said before, their HBM is sold out for calendar 24 and 25, with pricing already determined for this timeframe. In calendar 25 and 26, Micron will have a more diversified HBM revenue profile as they've won business across a broad range of HBM customers with their industry-leading HBM3E solutions. Now, with regards to the PC market, and this is a good comment for, Intel, AMD, even Nvidia on the gaming side of things, or just PC related. As discussed in their last earnings call, PC customers have built inventories due to the rising memory price trajectory and anticipated growth in AI PCs, as well as an expectation of tight supply caused by an increasing portion of production output being dedicated to meeting the growing data center demand. As sell-through of PCs continues at a steady pace with a seasonal increase in the second half of calendar 2024, we expect healthier inventories at PC OEMs by spring 2025. PC unit volumes remain on track to grow the low single-digit range for calendar 2024. We expect unit growth to continue in 2025 and accelerate into the second half of calendar 2025. As the PC replacement cycle gathers momentum with the rollout of next-gen AI PCs and of support for Windows 10 and the launch of Windows 12. To be honest, my timing with Windows 12, I don't know why, but I thought we would get it towards the end of 2024. Maybe I misread it, so apologies for that, because I do think that I mentioned it a couple of times in previous videos, so apologies on that. That was my mistake. As for the CapEx plan, so they invested $8.1 billion in CapEx in fiscal 2024. They expect fiscal 2025 CapEx to be meaningfully higher and at around mid-30% range of revenue based on current CapEx and revenue expectations. So yeah, I mean, hopefully they're not over-investing, and hopefully the upcycle is going to last longer than before, which, to be honest, I think it will. But now it's all about not over-investing, because if you're over-investing right now, the down cycle will look extremely ugly. Continuing here, the growth in both greenfield fab construction and HBM capex investments is projected to make up the overwhelming majority of the year-over-year capex increase. As a reminder, the investments in facility and construction in Idaho and New York will support the long-term demand outlook for DRAM and will not contribute to bit supply in fiscal 25 and 2026. Micron will continue to exercise supply and capex discipline and focus on improving profitability, including walking away from less profitable businesses while still maintaining overall bit market share for DRAM and NAND. Okay, great to hear. Now, of course, execution is key. Now, as for the split between DRAM and NAND, DRAM was 69% of total revenue, reaching $5.3 billion. Revenue increased 14% quarter over quarter. As for NAND, 31% of total revenue, reaching $2.4 billion and growing 15% quarter over quarter. As for the next quarter, revenue is expected to be around $8.7 billion, gross margin around 39.5%, and diluted earnings per share around $1.74 on a non-GAAP basis. And so just like that, we're going to see a huge green candle for the week that is going to be above the 50 and the 200-day moving average. Right now, after hours, the stock is at $108. The 200-day moving average sits at 102 and the 50-day one at 100. You can also see that we started the week here with a rebound just above the 20-day moving average. RSI is neutral but has some positive momentum, so that's great. I mean, it was, let's be honest, it was a no-brainer Micron, right? With the old data center PC, AI PC thing, because we're going to need quite a lot of memory. It's just about timing it right. I mean, the stock has done quite well, right? For the last, 2 years or so, a year and a half or so, it has more than doubled. So yeah, if you were early, congrats. And if you bought under $90, also congrats. So overall, that's about it for this short recap. I think it was a pretty good quarter, good guidance as well. Some commentaries with regards to the PC market that should be good for AMD and Intel as well. So that's about it for me in this video. Do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, do all of that. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.